For more than 30 years, Louise Harris has owned Last Research and Editing, and for nearly 10 years, owned Christian Marketing Experts. She has helped numerous clients in writing, editing, and marketing manuscripts and content. In addition, she has published 4 novels, 1 book on addiction, a children's book, and ghostwrote 2 cookbooks and a thriller.
Hello, I'm Louise Harris from Last Research and Editing and Christian Marketing Experts. And this week on The Last Word, we're going to be talking about conferences and how they can help you and what pitfalls that can come from virtual conferences. So let's get started. Last week, I spent 4 days doing the Women in Publishing Conference. And it was a virtual conference, and it was a very good conference, but there was some drawbacks about it being virtual. I did save money on hotel and I did save money on food, but I didn't have the opportunities to meet the people that were giving the talks, and I didn't really have the opportunity to meet people and connect with them in a person-to-person basis like I used to do when I attended other conferences. So I found that as a drawback. I also found as a drawback that we were not allowed to use video, so the person speaking didn't know who was in her audience. So she couldn't put a face to a question, for example, because you could ask questions in the chat, but they didn't know what that person looked like. And that has also been something that I always liked to do when I went to conferences, to go up to them after their talk, tell them how much I enjoyed the talk, and then get to know them a little bit better. And then they recognize me when they see me at other times during the conference. So I didn't get that. And they actually, throughout the week, they kept talking about building a community, and I was actually thinking that this virtual conference was doing the opposite of building a community. It wasn't bringing people together. It was just keeping them in a computer. But some people are better at that kind of connection, and I'm not one of them. I happen to like having an in-person conference. But here's what I will say. There are advantages to a conference. You get to you get information, and you get to learn about the trends in your industry. You get to know, hear about things that you might not have known, and give you ideas to spark your business and your writing and your editing. And you can get some takeaways that could help you. And for me, I had 3 takeaways. The first one was from Market Your Book Like a Rock Star. She was referencing Taylor Swift. Now, I am not a big Taylor Swift fan, but I do know she is a media mogul. She really is worth billions, and she has her Swifties will go anywhere for her and do anything for her, and she has built that up over years. I like her older music when she didn't have all that, and I'm not a big fan of the new music. But here's what was compared to for writers. You need to be proactive in your marketing. You need to go where you know your readers are. So go to coffee shops and meet people there, and go on Facebook groups, and in the groups have a live session where people can ask you questions, or just pose a question to them. I have these 2 cover ideas. Which one do you like better? And then use the one that the fans are telling you. And that still starts to build up a relationship and gets a buzz going. The second thing that I took away from this Women in Publishing conference is the Profit First method for creatives. I was on Christian Brim's podcast, and he wrote Profit First for Creatives. It's based on the Profit First method by Mike Michalowicz. And basically, you have to think of sales minus profits equals expenses instead of sales minus expenses equals profits. you want to, every time you get income, you want to divvy it up into 5 different accounts: one for taxes, one for expenses, one for taking home money and profit, and marketing. Or there's the book actually explains what the different accounts are, and they have to actually be different bank accounts. That's what works the best. But you also need to have the categories in your QuickBooks, and you need to be using both of them together. And that apparently, now I do not use it, but apparently does work well for people in the creative fields like photography and writing and editing and book cover design and arting. All of those are creative businesses work well with this method. And so I'm going to look at it and see how I can incorporate it into my business, because it does seem to work and I want that. The third item that I took away from the Women in Publishing conference was the fact that for other services, and I do offer a lot of services, and if you check out my website, you will see that it's not just editing. I have a whole lot of services on there. And I've actually had podcasters ask me why I have all these services. And it's mainly because I meet these authors who need help in all those areas. Once I'm done editing the books, then they need to know how to format it. And then they need to have me write the back cover copy. But this is what I got from the conference. All those little things that I'm just lumping into my original editing price, I should actually separate out as a separate price and market maybe just those things. So if you can do back cover copy, you can just sell back cover copy. And there were people at the conference that do just that. And they get $300 for something that takes an hour for me. And I was really shocked about that this was a very common thing that people were offering. And I just used to give it as part of my editing package. So I'm rethinking that strategy, that some of these little things that, okay, they already have an editor, it's already proofread, but they haven't uploaded it yet because they don't know what to write on the back, I can offer that service. And if you can do that, then you can offer that service. And it's a very easy thing. And the bios, the author bios are the same, as offer that with the back cover copy. And it's a way to bring in not a lot of money, but when you add it into some of the other options, and it's an upsell. And I will admit, I am not the biggest when it comes to upselling, but it's a way to upsell your other services. So I can offer the back cover copy, and then maybe they'd want me to edit the full book for the next time around. So we'll see, but I took that as, I thought that was a very interesting idea, and I took that away from the Women in Publishing conference. It is very important that you stay ahead of the trends, that you know what's happening in your industry, that you meet people that aren't in your area that you can get to know and have them possibly refer you to other people, and make contacts. Now, I am one that likes to go to conferences in my industry, but I also like to go to conferences that aren't in my industry, and then I meet other people. Anyway, I had a good experience, so I recommend that you do find a conference that you attend, and maybe one a year, because you don't want to spend a lot of money on it. You'll learn things, and you'll meet people, and that'll help you sell your books and your business. So I appreciate you watching. If you are watching and have subscribed, thank you, and you're wonderful. If you are watching but haven't subscribed, please do subscribe. It does help with the brand awareness and the YouTube ranking. And I want to give a shout out to Women in Publishing. Thank you for the opportunity of meeting so many people who are in the industry and learning about the things that I needed to know that I didn't know. And so, as always, don't worry, be happy.